One of the most interesting intra-week moves on Bitcoin versus the altcoin market is happening before our faces. I don't personally remember the markets moving like this ever before. I've been in crypto for just under 5 years now, really studying charts. This is a very special moment, so let's dive into it. This is mostly going to be focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum versus how Ethereum is supporting altcoins as they did drop and bounced. And as they bounced, Bitcoin started going down. It was a crisscross, like a swap play. And let's figure out what this means and dive into the chart. So if you're new to this channel, what my channel does for you is helps you add the third point in the triangle of information that you need to be getting from crypto. YouTube, you're mostly getting project fundamentals and news-based crypto information. I help you understand, okay, well, how do I put that in action when I'm clicking around with my money? How do I practice? How do I even get into this so I don't watch everything go up and then watch it all come crashing down? I don't want to buy and pray. I want to be a profit pimp. I help, particularly with altcoins and Bitcoin trading as well. I help complete that dot for you in very simplistic terms. So let's dive into it. I do have a Patreon community links in the and Discord community where we hang out and do a lot of live calls with video face-to-face. And we actually just got off one right now. We're talking about these dips and is this a big dip and all that kind of stuff and how to enter trades. So check out the links at the top of the description section. And returning viewers, smash like for me before I get going. Smash it for me. Stop what you're doing. Leave me a quick comment, emoji, all that kind of stuff. Help out the algo, and let's dive into it. So very special scenario. All right. So quick observation, Bitcoin 12-hour chart. My rule of thumb is as long as candle closures are above the 12-hour 10, you're good to go. Basic rule of thumb. All right. Also, going back to 2020, I've been focused on this fractal for a while. I kept saying, I think this is going to play out or this is going to play out as Bitcoin finally bounced off of 30K. It looks like an almost exact replica of this happened, of this portion here. We got a big pop up. And now we are moving in a channel moving this way. Hopefully I'm doing this the right way. It looks almost identical. So let's zoom into here and take off everything, almost a naked chart with the 12-hour 10 EMA. So again, imagine this would be Bitcoin bouncing off its, let's just say 30K lows down here, right? And actually, no, it'd be here. 30K lows, you have a nice run, a higher low, and then you start taking off. So this is the fractal that we're looking at, and I think we're right here on this fractal. Okay, so let's look at this. Go really far into here, and look how it just bounced on the 12-hour 10. You did get a candle closure below. Look, you had a couple of them. One here, one at. But the next candle after that scary candle, it always went green. And what Bitcoin did was it rode up. It doubled, riding its 12-hour 10 the whole time. Look. Zoom out now. Look, it went up 100%, riding its 12-hour 10 only. Literally just the 12-hour 10, nothing else. That simple. So here's about 10K. It's riding that red line. See how it's riding the red line here as well. It's closing below. So 10.7. From 10.7, rode the red line, rode Little Red Riding Hood, and that brought you to $19,300. From just over 10K to just under 20K. And so I think this is what's happening. But while it was happening, so let's zoom into what's happening now. This is the context for this ridiculous price action. Look, so remember that how similar that fractal looked? Came down, finally broke above this horizontal, broke up. Now you're forming a channel, right? It looks almost identical. But while Bitcoin, even before Bitcoin started printing this red candle here, alts were tanking when Bitcoin was up here. Out of nowhere, just started tanking. And with that tanking, Ethereum was going back down to test the bi-weekly horizontal line that I was obsessed about for a while, right? I really focused on that, finally closed above. So I have the confidence that price will stay above there because we already got a definitive 2-week candle closure. So let's go to the 2-week chart so you can see this line. I've been talking about it since before this candle closed above it, right? So I find it strange I find it really strange that on Ethereum's chart, if I can dig down to the 1 hour, just so you can see how nicely it played with that bi-weekly line. Like, this isn't a 1 hour line. This is a 1 hour chart interacting with a bi-weekly line that I'd been staring at for a month, or yeah, right out of a month. And I find it interesting that altcoins with Ethereum, altcoins really take a dump while Bitcoin's staying strong this whole time, this whole ascent down, right? And a lot of altcoins like Phantom, like look at Phantom, Phantom is down 10% during this, and Phantom's 10% happened while Bitcoin just stayed where it was. It was still up here. It was still up here. And then when you got the bounce on Ethereum, so when this bounce happened, when Ethereum was going up, that's when Bitcoin started going down. So this is a totally flip-flopped intraday market. But if you only stare at charts, a couple times a week, which is honestly fairly healthy, it's hard to appreciate this. This type of situation doesn't happen very often. This is a very, very interesting situation that is essentially leading me to believe that the Bitcoin futures market, so all of the people putting leverage on Bitcoin, is not that high. So a washout on Bitcoin doesn't need to happen, right? But rather, it looks like so that now a lot of exchanges, you can use leverage on altcoins. Don't go and try it if you haven't practiced trading, which is why I made a silo trading challenge to ease people into that stuff with no leverage, much less stressful, less dangerous. And you got to practice first before you ever try it. But I think the altcoin market was over leveraged, and this was a washout of altcoins. And then it just so happened Bitcoin has started to go south, but the washout already happened on altcoins, so they bounced while Bitcoin just made a normal dip down to the 12-hour 10. Very, very, very strange situation. And a lot of these coins went down a lot farther than what you would have expected. So for example, and this is all based on, so I'm going to go for example, XRP. Look, so when Ethereum was just coming back down to retest that bi-weekly line, look, XRP, a 12% drop. And once it started bouncing, going, this could be like a dead cat. It could keep going. But the interesting thing is, when alts started going up is when Bitcoin went down. It's almost like people are masses are selling Bitcoin to buy altcoins right at the same moment. I don't think that's exactly what's happening. I think it's more of the over leveraged stuff and maybe exchanges and with those exchanges, kind of those games being played there. But this is a very, very, I have never seen this happen before. So I really don't expect Bitcoin to need to correct in regards to being a lot of over leveraged traders on Bitcoin. I don't see that happening. And just as important, I don't see Ethereum closing any daily candles back below that bi-weekly line. So it feels like this was just a super amazing dip to try to be able to catch. This is my guess. This could end up turning around and really tanking. But as of now, I would assume because of that flip-flop action and it's not moving together, I think things are going to sort them out and flip back to more normal, which means Bitcoin is going to stay in this channel and stay closing relative candles, the vast majority of candles above the 12-hour 10 EMA. So let's go back to the 12, slap on the 10. And remember, this wick down happened when alts were bouncing back up. So let's look at a big alt bounce. Look at Solana. So Solana was tanking down while Bitcoin stayed steady. And then when Solana said, hey, I'm done doing this and I'm going to come back up with a big, 12-hour green candle up your mouth or your nose or wherever you want to put that green dildo, Bitcoin started falling. This is the weirdest stuff. This is a very special day. I don't think this will happen a lot, but that could have been like a perfect storm opportunity to catch some alts as Bitcoin is posturing strong, right? So very special day. And let me take a look, even though this is mostly a Bitcoin video, let's take a look at what could happen here. All right. So this could get worse for alts. Bitcoin is, in my base thumb rules of how I view charts, it is allowed to make another nice pump because it tested its daily 10. Now, can you get by over and over just wicking down to the daily 10? actually Bitcoin went, you know, from 10K to 20K doing this type of shape. So it can go quite far. Can it go to all, you know, can it go to like 100K doing this? Probably not. Getting by with just wicks down to the daily 10. You can get by with wicks to the weekly 10, but that's way down here, right? So in what I'm seeing here is Bitcoin can continue to all-time highs based off of this wick, and that's not very far away from current price. I mean, that's like from yesterday's top candle, that only would have required about a 12% move. 12% move, and Bitcoin can make a 12% move to the upside after rechecking the daily 10, even in a bullish move. It can do it. All right. So what happens if it needs to settle out a little bit more and make a higher low? Well, where do higher lows often form? On a trend line. So what could be shaping up is Bitcoin could come all the way back down and just bounce on this line. And if altcoins were already having a scare during just Bitcoin staying strong, imagine how big the washout would be potentially if Bitcoin really did come back down to 46 just to make a higher low. Nice higher low on a nice trend line, very simple trade, very similar to our silo trade. Silo's moving just like this, right? Just bounce, bounce, right? So it could get much worse very quickly. However, there are other reasons regarding Ethereum's biweekly close, Bitcoin just breaking out in its posturing, that I would say this is going to continue. I think we're going to get continuation before a significant higher low. And that today just so happened to be a very special situation intraday where alts tanked while Bitcoin was strong, and it could have been a perfect opportunity to pick up some alts in a scenario that you might not see for quite a while. So that's what we got for you today. Kind of a strange episode because my mind is just flabbergasted on how the markets moved oppositely. But if you're new to this, go ahead and check out my silo video that I just released, and it's the silo number 2, and I invite you to watch the first one as well, because you can see if you're newer to this and you're not comfortable clicking around, I literally step you through it. This is the stuff I do for the higher tiers on my community, but I'm going to do it for the month of October, maybe 3 videos. And so definitely don't hesitate to follow along with those videos. You might learn quite a bit, especially if you are not used to this type of stuff, and you can view it as practicing. So if you ever played a sport, you had to practice first. Just view it as practice. You're not doing it to get rich now, right? So I wouldn't enter any types of trades with trying to get rich quick, because you're going to lose your money doing that. You do it to so in that silo challenge, its intent is to practice with just a little bit of Pokemon cards. So I wanted to let you know about that as a preface or a disclaimer before you jump into that video if you do, and we'll see you next time.